Ryan waded into the cold lake water, pulling against the weight of what everyone thought was a strange creature struggling near the shore. Children had cried. Phones filmed. No one else dared approach. The rope in his hand led to something anchored deep below. When he finally lifted the dark shape from the water, Ryan's hands began to shake. Ryan Mitchell had been coming to Riverside Park for years. Every Saturday afternoon, without fail, he walked the same path along the lakefront. The routine calmed him. The water was peaceful, the air fresh, and the park was usually quiet enough to let his thoughts settle. But this Saturday felt different the moment he arrived. Ryan couldn't place it at first, just an odd feeling that made him scan the shoreline more carefully than usual. Then he saw it. Near the shallow water, maybe 30 feet from where he stood, something dark was moving. The shape caught the afternoon light in a strange way. Ryan slowed his pace, squinting to make sense of what he was seeing. At first glance, it looked like debris, maybe a log or a piece of trash that had washed up. But debris didn't move like that. This thing was struggling, thrashing in the shallow water with a desperate, labored motion. Each movement seemed to take enormous effort, like whatever it was could barely keep itself afloat. Ryan stopped walking entirely. He stood there staring, trying to understand what his eyes were showing him. The shape was wrong. The proportions didn't match any animal he recognized. Other people started to notice. Within minutes, a small crowd had formed along the shore. Everyone was watching the mysterious shape in the water. No one spoke much at first. They just stared, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. The whispers started quietly. The theories got stranger as more people joined the crowd. The creature kept moving, but each motion was weaker than the last. It seemed to be giving up, its struggles becoming less frequent. Whatever it was dying right there in front of them. Phones came out. Ryan watched as person after person held up their devices, recording the scene. Some people were backing away from the water's edge, putting distance between themselves and the unknown thing. The crowd was growing, but no one was doing anything to help. A man near the front suggested calling animal control, but someone else pointed out it would take too long. By the time they arrived, whatever was in the water would be dead. Still, no one made a move toward the lake. They just watched and filmed and whispered their theories. This thing, whatever it was, deserved better than to drown while dozens of people stood filming. He kicked off his shoes and stepped toward the water. A few people in the crowd called out, warning him to be careful. Someone suggested he wait for animal control. A woman grabbed his arm briefly, asking if he was sure about this. But Ryan kept moving forward. The water soaked through his jeans as he waded deeper. As Ryan got closer, the creature still didn't make sense. The water came up to his chest now, and he could feel the cold seeping into his bones. He was close enough to touch it. The thing was just floating there, occasionally twitching, but no longer fighting. Ryan reached out slowly, his hand trembling as it moved through the water. His hand met something solid and cold. The surface was covered in algae and slime, slippery under his fingers. He tried to get a better grip, to lift whatever it was toward the surface. But as he pulled, something caught on his hand. Ryan looked down through the murky water and saw it clearly. A rope, a thick rope. His heart started pounding. Ryan traced the rope downward with his hand. It disappeared into the deeper water, stretching down toward the lake bottom. The rope was tied around something, wrapped tight and secure. He pulled harder, straining against the weight. Ryan braced his feet against the soft bottom and pulled with all his strength. Ryan hauled on the rope, hand over hand. The dark shape began to rise slightly, becoming more visible through the water. The rope seemed endless. Ryan kept pulling. Finally, the end of the rope came into view. Tied securely to it was a large rock, heavy enough to keep anything attached to it submerged indefinitely. Someone had done this on purpose. Ryan's hands shook as he turned back to the creature. As it emerged from the water, the algae and mud started to wash away. Matted fur appeared. Twisted legs that couldn't kick properly to swim. It wasn't a creature at all. It was a dog, a large dog with deformed legs, unable to move the way it needed to in the water. Someone had tied a rope around its body, attached it to a rock, and thrown it into the lake to drown. Ryan felt his throat tighten as he lifted the dog higher. The animal was still breathing, barely, but its chest was rising and falling in shallow, desperate gasps. It was alive. He carried the dog toward the shore, the weight of it heavy in his arms. The strange creature everyone had feared turned out to be evidence of something far more monstrous than any unknown animal could ever be. A deliberate act of cruelty. Someone had looked at this dog, with its twisted legs and different appearance, and decided it didn't deserve to live. Ryan laid the dog gently on the grass. The animal's breathing was weak but steady. He was already reaching for his phone, dialing for emergency veterinary help. The crowd gathered closer now, their fear replaced by something else. Anger, sadness, a desperate hope that this dog could be saved. The dog's eyes opened slightly, looking up at Ryan. Despite everything it had been through, despite being left to die in the coldest, cruelest way imaginable, it was still here, still fighting. And you, if you saw something strange struggling in the water, would you have had the courage to wade in and help?